gentlemen, welcome to Stardom Review. I am your co-host Andre C. Right over here, it's the broken princess herself. It's Melba. How you doing, Melba?
Not physically, but well, my toe might be. I'm pretty sure I busted that dropping my phone on it yesterday, which was
Oh,
phenomenal. I
yeah.
mean, better the toe than the phone, I guess. Choices were
Uh,
made. It was not a very good
maybe.
one in the long run.
Maybe.
Yeah. And
That's
to
never
go
fun.
along with me being a little bit under the weather today, it just did not make for a well rounded day for a Malball. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing. I had a really good day. I went out, got a workout in this morning. Went out, had a wonderful breakfast at place in St. Albert with my mom, and then
Oh, that's nice.
went and looked at some cars. Came home, did some work. Some pops just working on stuff for the show. Got some housework done. Just a good day.
Good. Sounds like a productive day, unlike a Malball who was just napping.
My one day off in the span of 11 days, or in the span of in the span of 10 days. Yeah. So
Jeepers.
I just worked 5, have today off, and I got to work another 4 before even that day. I'm going to be out most of the day because I'm going to be hanging out with you at Top Talent Pro Wrestling. So yeah,
Yes, that's gonna be
at,
fun.
at least I have a massage before I come to see you. So that's a big thing.
What the hell do you think that I'm going to do that's gonna require
No, no,
you
no.
needing a massage?
I'm gonna get a massage before I come hang out with you. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, we did that. We don't do that much. We
Well,
just
I
kind of sit around and watch wrestling.
well, it's also I just need a massage in general because my back has been
Fair,
sore
fair,
lately. So yeah,
relatable.
but we're not here to talk about ourselves as
No,
much. We're here to
no.
talk about some Stardom wrestling. Before we do that, I want to thank each and every one of you. We really do appreciate all of you guys for all the great support you've given us here. We really do appreciate all the great comments you guys are leaving on the videos,
Hmm.
the sharing it out, liking the videos. We really appreciate all you guys for all the support. Um, please like the video if you can. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the note or no, wait. I don't get to that part yet. Put your comments down below. Share us out on social media if you can. Share it with your friends, your family, your mom, your dad, whoever you think might like us hear us talk about Japanese
Grandmother's
professional wrestling.
mother's wife's step niece's great aunt.
Sure, I didn't even think of that.
I know.
But yeah, and don't forget hit the notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Hello. Well, we are gonna get into it. We're here to talk some Stardom.
Yeah.
Stardom. It's Nagoya Golden Fight, the Miracle of Kinshachi. Yes, that
Yes.
is the full name of this show. It doesn't show it on the logo. It only says Golden Fight on the logo. Ooh, we're too small.
I mean,
There
I'm
we
sure
go.
maybe the Japanese stuff in there is at the
It
bottom.
probably says the
Yeah.
Miracle of Kinshachi. She is what it said on the Stardom website on the page
There
where I
you
got
go.
all the graphics from. So, yeah,
I
that's what
mean,
I'm going
even the
with.
shows get nicknames now. My goodness.
Yep. We start a pre-show match. It is a person 6-way match. Ruaka versus Hanan versus Yuna Mizumori versus Suhrei versus Lady Z versus Miyu Amasaki. Again, giant cluster of a match. Miyu, and Hanan each get like drop kicks to another opponent early in the match, and they all trade pinfalls off. Miyu gets crushed in the corner by multiple people, and Yuna and Hanan hit the seated drop kick, but then and then to Miyu, but then each are breaking up each other's pinfall attempts. Lady C gets a double lariat to Yuna and Hanan, then gets them in like a into the Russian leg sweep on both, and that's where Miyu drop kicks Lady C, and she ends up like double Russian leg sweeping Yuna and Hanan.
Hmm.
Lady C and Ami have a chopping battle with C actually getting the speed chops off, or the repeated chops off here, but Ami does come back with a huge double chop to the chest.
Hmm.
We get the figure 4 head scissor train, as has been seen in a lot of these multi-person matches. And Yuna, or not Yuna, Ruaka ends up walking across everybody, just like stepping on everybody's tummies, being all mean
Crossing the creek.
as Ruaka would do. She's kind of mean. Ruaka splashes all but Yuna in the corner, then gets a lariat to Yuna Mizumori. Ruaka hits the splash across the bottom rope to her and gets a 2 count. She gets a shoulder block and a splash for 2. They trade strikes. Then Hanan comes off with a high cross to both of them. Then hits them both with the running body attack in the ropes. But she goes for a pin, but it does get broken up. Miyu gets a tornado DDT to Hanan off of Lady C. Very much Bushi Naito vibes in that DDT I found.
I got that also, yeah.
Yeah, Ami and Lady C suplex Miyu together, but they both pin at the same time, and the ref starts counting. So I'm like, we would have had a double winner here? I was very confused. But Ruaka gets the senton to the panel to break it up.
Smart
And then everybody's trading pinfalls. Ami and Ruaka smashing into each other with lariats. Ruaka drops Ami, but then Ami comes up, hits a jumping lariat to Ruaka for 2, picks her up. Blue Thunder Bomb. And Ami Sohrei is your winner of this 6-way.
I'd mentioned that before that Stardom and NJPW were really figuring out their openers, and this one for a pre-show, same thing. Now, this was a great pre-show match. I really felt that Yuna Mizumori and Ruaka were the 2 bigger kind of showcases in this one, despite everyone getting an opportunity to really pop off their signatures and all their fun stuff. I felt that Ruaka and Yuna were the most memorable for myself from this one. There was that one spot that Yuna did where she did a drop kick, and then when she landed, she turned around and did the splash for that pin. Really, really smart wrestling on her part there. I mean, just the growth and evolution that we've seen her go through, especially since joining Cosmic Angels, has just been tremendous. And today, she was just so excited, so energetic. I loved her energy in this match. But then we had Ruaka, who's like the polar opposite, like the mean girl of the club. And like she's looking phenomenal also. I mean, she's got that kind of hourglass figure going now. And she's kind of doing that evolution that Ami Sohrei and Giulia are kind of known for, where she's changing her hairstyle quite frequently. Today it was like blonde and curled inward. Sometimes she flips it outward. Sometimes the tips are pink. Sometimes she's got like a purple highlight in there or something. I'm really appreciating the evolution she's doing while keeping to the same styling of gear, because it makes it feel like it's something new when it is just a change of the hairstyle. But it like adds excitement to her in that. I really had fun with this one.
Yeah, I thought it was good. And like transformations, you're right. Yuna Mizumori, like she
Mm-hmm.
almost like you look at this picture, it looks like she almost looks like a different person from say the Triangle Derby graphics from January. She looks like a different person.
Pineapple,
Almost. Yeah, like she just body transformation. Like she looks more tan. The hair, the gear, everything has just evolved, and it's been awesome. And like same thing with Hanan, same thing with Ami Sohrei. Ruaka's doing that. I'd love to see Lady C make a transformation, because this is like the look she's had has been the look I've been seeing on her since we started watching. There has been subtle gear changes over the year, but there hasn't been a big change. Like there's been subtle changes to her gear, but it's always a similar look to what it always has been. I would like to see an evolution in her gear and a change in her look, honestly. Miyu, because she's still so new, I'm not as critical on that. But Lady C's been around a little while now. I think she needs an update in her look.
I agree. I'd like to see a little bit more of a change in that as well, yeah.
Yeah. We move on to the main card, and it is the first match of the night. It is for the high-speed title. It is Saki Kashima defending her championship against May Sarah.
Yay.
Saki getting like pumped up early, just like yeah, and then just like lays down like almost into a Naito pose, and then as May comes into like, and she like stands, puts her hand out for like a shake or whatever. So May comes in, she tries to pull her into a roll up, but she doesn't get it, and then she ends up running away. A really cool spot where May kind of victory rolls through it and then jumps up and does the Akira double, like victory roll into the double stomp. Loved it. I love seeing that.
Was that
Uh,
when Kashima was kind of rolling about a little funny, and she ended up rolling on her back?
yeah, and she rolled for it, and like May rolled for it, and then let her go, then hopped up and just double stomped her. I
Yeah.
loved it. I loved it.
Mhm.
Saki gets a drop told into the ropes, and like is kicking on her, choke her in the ropes, just being a bully pretty much here. Um, May gets to change the direction in the ring, the very Leo Rush style, just running and then just turning and changing directions, and hits a neck breaker for a 2. Then follows it up with a code breaker and a suplex for 2. They got the striking exchange at the center. May gets the best of Saki in the striking exchange, but Saki comes back with that like palm strike uppercut that she does that like rocks pretty much anybody. She gets the
Mhm.
kicks in the corner, gets the double knee drop off the second for 2, then picks her up, hits a fairy tale ending, but Macer ends up rolling her up off the fairy tale ending. Um, a series of pin exchanges. Saki gets a head kick, then dodges a crossbody by May, then just up kicks her in the face. It looked just rough as shit. Um,
Mhm.
she goes for Kishikase, but May reverses it, rolls up Saki. And we have a new high speed champion, ladies and gentlemen. May is the champ, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. May champ.
Mm-hmm.
I was so happy for this. It was a long time coming. Um, I felt that Kashima in the first part of this very cocky, very
Mm-hmm.
wrestling very arrogantly,
Mm-hmm.
um, and doing the little pose where she's just laying down and hey hi seductive pose in the ring. I was like, I had never seen her do that before. That seems to be something she started doing a little bit more over the last couple shows.
Mm-hmm.
Um, don't know how I feel about it. God's Eye is a little confusing
Yeah.
with that. And I'll touch on that when we get to Syuri's match because there was something interesting that I noted there. Um, there was the spot where Saki, yeah, where she was doing the seductive poses and just rolling out of the way from May's double stomps at the beginning there. I thought that was really
Mm-hmm.
cute. A little fun way to get started into the match and kind of frustrate May, play some mind games and stuff. Um, yeah, again, Kashima not helping herself the dirty way she wrestles. It just is, it doesn't seem to fit God's Eye unless God's Eye is going for this heel turn. I don't know. It just, she does not help herself. I managed to mute it right before I sneezed. You muted yourself, sir.
Oh, everything I did because I had to yawn, so I muted myself, and then I was laughing. You calling you broken Mel has got the mute on. I was giving you props, but yeah, I'm an idiot.
Oof, that rattled my brain a little bit.
Where's
All
more
right, where
cities
was
here?
I? There was a couple of spots, not right at the beginning, but kind of in the middle part, where there were maybe you can relate to this, Andre. Kashima seemed a little confused. There were some things where May went to do them to her, and Kashima didn't seem to know which way to turn or which way she was supposed to roll or whatever. It was apparent to me in this match that despite being a tremendously accomplished wrestler, I don't think that Cash Misaki is a high speed wrestler. She just, there was a number of points where she just, May was running circles around her.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I think this was a good rest for the high speed title, but I think it needs to kind of stay in a more higher speed division. I think that Saki would actually probably be better chasing that title that they kind of put away for the time being. What is that one with
Oh,
the sti
SWA.
yeah, the stipulation where they have to be from a different country or something like that? I think that
Yeah.
she would be a really good person to potentially put that belt on. Just because I don't think she's quite Wonder of Stardom belt ready, but I don't think that she has what people like Koguma, Mei, Azumi, Starlight Kid, I don't think she has that spark that they have to hold the division. Um, Yeah, I definitely felt that Mei outsmarted Saki for this one. My favorite part though is at the end when Rossi is giving the trophy and the title to Mei and Saki steals his hat and puts it on Mei and it takes off. You know, sore
Mm.
losers. Love it.
Yeah,
Very happy.
that won't be the only time tonight we have kind of sore losers, but
No. No, it
yes.
isn't.
So Mamie does get the mic after. She's just finally, I was able to win this belt that I have been thinking about for 3 years. Thank you. My goal has become the world's #1 high speed star. I think you kind of are at this point. You did win the title. Um, with this belt around me, I will make a new history in the high speed world. Please keep your eyes on me and don't blink or you'll miss. Thank you. And then simple, short, to the point. I liked it.
Yeah, and what a fun little catchphrase. Don't blink or you'll miss it. It's
So
true. She's so fast.
she really is. She really is.
Yeah.
And that match, the total time was 6 minutes 28 seconds, but it didn't feel short. Unlike a match later on in the card, it didn't feel short because of how fast
No.
May was working in this, and it
Hmm.
didn't feel short in a high speed match. But a lot of them are like 5 6 minutes, but they
Hmm.
don't feel short because of how fast people do work in these matches. So yeah.
100%.
So we move on to what was supposed to be the Goddess of Stardom Tag Team Championship match, but Utami Hayashishita and Natsuko are out with neck injuries. So we get a
Is it
single.
irony that they both have the same injury?
I don't know. So we get a singles match with the partners here. Azumi
Mhm.
taking on Saori Anou. Azumi kicks Anou off the handshake offer, and they each do a series of dodges. Azumi sends Anou over the top, kicks her to the floor, hits the apron PK. Azumi gets a PK back in the ring a couple of times, but only gets a 1 count. I like that they're using their like this match building to the 2 count. I like that they didn't do the 1 count late. I like that they did it early.
Mhm, mhm.
Azumi choking Anu in the ropes and in the corner. Anu dodges out of the corner, hits a fisherman suplex for 2, then gets a spring like a spring off the rope into a drop kick, and then another fisherman suplex for 2. Anu applies the last chancery, which is like the Moodle lock without the leg lock, and then turns it into a straight jacket choke, but eventually does let go.
Mhm.
They trade strikes at center. Anu slaps her hard, like just cracks her. And she goes up,
Mhm.
but Azumi comes running up behind her, arm drags her off the top, gets a 2 count. This is where Anu does that matrix up, like where she
So
like
cool.
bent sweeps up and gets a running boot for 1. But on the one after the 1, Azumi does that matrix thing up, and then she hits the suplex, but then Anu hits the German. Then they each boot each other in the face, and they Koji is here. Koji is here. We've been
He is
talking about
front and center.
yeah, we're gonna be talking about Koji in a couple weeks when we're talking about Fighting Spirit Unleashed because his namesake will be on that show. Um, Azumi gets a leg trap German, goes up to hit the double stomp hits the double stomp off the top for 2. He then transitions it into a Fujiwara armbar, but Anu does get out. German attempt by Anu, and they each do reversals, and Anu finally gets a German for 2. Azumi comes back with a flip pile driver, but Anu gets a roll up. But Anu turns the pin into her own roll up for 2. They trade back and forth. Eventually, Anu gets the jackknife cover, and Anu gets the win. Slightly
Mhm.
disappointed on the winner because I was kind of hoping Azumi would win it so she could have this win over the champion. I don't know, just give her a little bit of momentum going into this goddess tournament. I don't know.
Mhm. I agree. I would have liked that as well. Um, yeah, this was an interesting match. Um, Anu was just endlessly impressing me. I'm on the Anu train now. I was kind of like awkwardly running beside it, like not quite sure if I wanted to risk my life jumping onto it. But like this match is really kind of Yep, she's just consistently now doing better and better and better each match. She's showing more and more expression, more and more personality, more and more of herself. I really enjoy that. Azumi wearing her anniversary gear, which I love. I just love that color combination on her. It fits her hair color, her skin color so well. It just looks so perfect on her.
Well, yeah, is it white, pink, green, and black all mixed together with like a white base?
Yellow.
Oh,
And
yellow, and yellow's in there too. Like it's a white
no
base.
green, just yellow.
Oh, it's a white base with all the other colors on top.
Yeah. It reminds me of like those. Do you remember those like brightly colored like folders that girls loved in the 90s?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
Anou's gear, on the other hand, was like when she first came out, I was like, ooh, new gear for her. It's silver, metallic, strappy. She had a really big cutout on it, though, concerned me from the get-go. Because it started like in the center seam, right above like the navel, right? And it went all the way down to about maybe like that far from the center seam on the back. So the whole thing was cut out. There was barely anything on her hip. I was really concerned that there would be a wardrobe malfunction because it was very obvious that she wasn't wearing anything underneath there because it would have been showing in that gap. The pants held up good. The belt, not so much. I don't know what happened there, but the belt was pretty much hanging off there like a Mayu Iwatani tail by the end of it. And then there were some strings coming out from the boobies, but hey, it held up. And I think it looked really, really good on her. I liked seeing the metallic look as opposed to the lacy look with her because I feel like the lacy look looks a little cheap on her. It just looks flimsy, whereas this looked as regal as her entry robe. So I really appreciated it, despite the crazy cutout and wardrobe malfunction. The end I felt was a little weird for me, though. Like the match itself, overall, very, very solid. But when they got into that final kind of, I called it tumble about, where they were doing the reversals and the reversals and pin and reversal, pin and reversal, pin and reversal. It just felt like there were a little couple points of just that probably could have been cleaner. It looked a little messy, a little. It wasn't quite a cluster, but it was pushing it. It was definitely trying to push it, which is unfortunate because the whole match up until that point was just so good. I mean, like I said, I'm on the Anou train. She's doing so good. And Azumi is just endlessly impressive.
Yeah,
Everything she does is great.
Yeah, both these two are insanely impressive in very different ways.
Yeah.
Anou has that technical ability while still being quick, but Azumi is so fast, so dynamic.
Yeah. Ooh, lightning, man.
Just so good. Like I love both of these two. I think Azumi, I think she in 10 years in the business and she's 21 years old.
Yep.
It's insanity, man. It really is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So we move over to a UWFI, technically. UWF rules, as they call it, but it's a UWFI rules match. Syuri taking on Mina Shirakawa. You can win by knockout, submission, ref stoppage, or a down 10 count, which you did see them calling a couple times in this match. You each start with 5 points. If you run out of points, you automatically lose. I think, I'm not sure. I haven't seen one, at least myself, go down to 0 points. So we'll see. They start with strikes and kicks. Amina's out ready for a fight, though. She has her hair like pulled back, braided up, ready to like. It's not her usual down hair and everything. It's all pulled back and like cornrowed in and pulled back. She's like her bangs hanging down, but like she's ready for a fight here.
Did you notice Syuri's jacket? Her entry jacket. This is what I was referencing earlier. I'd mentioned in prior videos with Stardom Review here that Amasaki seems to be having some kind of influence on Mirai and Syuri since joining God's Eye. We've seen the savagery, especially coming out in Syuri and a little bit more in Mirai. But Syuri wearing a very Saki-esque jacket. on her entry. She's usually wearing something very elaborate with elaborate dingly danglies off the arms, like very. She always has something. I don't want to say over the top because it's not over the top, but it's usually more fantastical than this one. This was a very plain red leather looking jacket. It was like it was like Saki. What kind of influence is Saki starting to have on God's Eye?
A good one, I guess.
I agree. I would love to see God's Eye have the irony of the name and then become this evil bad guy of team that, really puts Oedo Tai on notice and, makes them step up their heel game. I want to see emergence of heels.
Yeah.
Let's take it into the match, though.
Yeah, again, really good match, these two.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they start with striking and kicking. They wrestle down. Mina's going for the legs. Syuri gets really working her kicks and her strikes. They're on the ground. Syuri gets the mount and takes the back, goes for the rear naked choke, but Mina does get a rope break. So when you get a rope break or you get counted, you lose a point. So now it's Syuri 5-4. Syuri getting knees to the midsection. They go to the mat. They're trading arm bars. Syuri gets a double arm bar and then she puts the leg over the head. But Mina uses another rope break, so they go to 3. And she goes to 3, so it's 5-3. Mina gets a leg lock, but Syuri gets out. Syuri hits a knee to the face, dropping Mina. But it takes so the rest starts to 10 count, right? Like you would for a boxing match or anything like that. But Mina gets up 4-10, but because they had to do the count, she loses another point. So it's now 5-2 for Syuri. So Mina gets drop kick by Syuri. She gets the PK, but Mina gets the snap mare in her own PK. But then she sits down and says, "Do it again." And Syuri PKs her again. And then she gets Syuri down and does like an inverted figure 4. Then Mina breaks the hold. She gets a head kick. Syuri responds before 10 because it takes her a bit to get up too, so she loses a point from the 10 count. So it's now 4-2 for Syuri. Mina gets a figure 4 leg lock on Syuri. Syuri does have to get to the ropes to break the hold. So we're now at 3-2 for Syuri. So Mina, or as wrote Miba, bad typing. Mina with the leg kick, but can't get the figure 4. Syuri hits a code breaker. They're trading slaps. Syuri hits a German. Mina gets a backdrop. Syuri gets the stretch muffler, but Mina works her way out of the stretch muffler, so it doesn't end up having to use the whole break. Syuri gets. Then this is where Syuri just hits this nasty running knee, hits this just sick looking roundhouse, and then the buzzsaw kick, and Mina just goes face plants on the mat and just lays there. And the ref goes to her and he waves off the match. So very reminiscent of her match with Saki, where she did win by the kick knockout, the ref stoppage due to a very hard kick and dazing the opponent. Again, very UFC when you see somebody hit a hard shot and the ref gets over them and calls the match off. It very much that kind of finish. And I thought Mina really stepped up, and when she was striking and kicking with Syuri throughout this match, she was landing good hard shots.
Mm-hmm. I have to agree, yeah. If you follow Mina Shirakawa on her Instagram or the X thing, you'll see that she was posting a lot of her training videos and clips of her training, getting ready for this match. She was taking it very, very seriously, training those strikes. And she's very, very efficient striker, especially with those kicks. But when you're messing with someone like Syuri just has this almost Rolodex of just knowledge. Oh, you want to put me in this? Here's my reversal cheat card for that. She just has this ability to just escape everything and control everything. That's why I feel that she's one of the gatekeepers of all of the big tournaments here. We saw Tora bragging about it in the Grand Prix. If I can beat Syuri, I can win this tournament. It was almost like no one else mattered in that tournament for her. And that's how powerful Syuri really kind of is in this. I was surprised by the TKO. I expected it I expected it to be a rough ending, but I wasn't expecting a TKO. Um, was not expecting what we got after. Also,
Yes, but just to the match before I get into the post, like Syuri again, this is a former UFC fighter. She had boxing and kickboxing career before she got
Mhm.
into MMA and UFC and everything. So like when you're talking about like in a UWFI room match, and she's kicking, and the kick, it's like this girl legitimately can kick your head off. Like she
Mhm.
had karate, kickboxing, like so much different. Like okay, I'm just looking at her fighting. Her style is kickboxing, shoot boxing, wrestling, and karate. Like that's the mix of her style from when she was fighting, let alone now adding in like pro wrestling into it all. It's kind of
Mhm.
nuts, man. It really is.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
very, very skilled wrestler. One of the most skilled in Stardom, and as I said, the gatekeeper for most tournaments.
Yeah. So excuse me. Later at night when we're doing this one. I was yawning the last show because it was the morning. I'm yawning this one because it's later at night. Uh, so Suri gets the mic. She says, Mina Shirakawa, I didn't expect you to come this far today. And Mina's like laying on the mat as she's doing all this. I received your feelings today, and the way you look at me has changed. Again, I don't understand the line at all, but okay. Thank you so much for doing it on this legendary day, October 9th, under UWF rules. Also, I'm the strongest woman in the world. This is where she makes a statement. And I
Just
love
an
it.
FYI.
But she's making the statement here, and then she's
Yeah.
like looking, she's like, which camera? And which one? She comes over to the one. And she goes, those of you around the world that call yourself the strongest, come forward. Come fight me, Syuri. I'll be waiting for you. And then,
Yes.
yeah, like I have a feeling we might end up getting a WWE connection here because with Kairi going back, they have an open line of communication to this company now.
I
So,
mean, it's not even just WWE. There's so many
oh yeah,
connections to the company.
yeah. But I'm just saying, like, I would love to see her get mixed up with some of the WWE women, like a Shayna Baszler coming back. Imagine that. That'd be insanity. But yeah, she goes back. She
Mhm.
says, Mina Shirakawa, I look forward to the day we can fight again. Thank you for today. So
Mhm.
she gives the mic to Mina, and Syuri gets out of there. So Mina says it's frustrating, but I don't have any regrets because I gave everything I have right now. But I will
Mhm.
definitely take this challenge and get revenge on Syuri for sure. And then a video starts playing. And it's Mina Shirakawa cutting a promo. And it's like, but it's like all
It's
these like
glitching.
the static's breaking in, it's glitching out, and then we get this video. We get like this like spooky forest and a Halloween.
It
Jack
looks like you're going to the pumpkin fields in the Nightmare Before Christmas, is what it looks like.
yeah, and then it cuts to a highlight video of Dump Matsumoto and her team go, and then it says Gokua Gokuaku Dume is coming on Halloween, I guess. And that's Dump Matsumoto's uh, crew that she leads is Gokuaku Dome. It's her team. That's the team she leads. And then so Mina says this is too painful right now. On Halloween, Gokuaku Dume is coming. It's hard to say that, man. I'm not used to it.
Yeah. I think that's on purpose at this point.
Yeah. I'm not ready in this condition, but against Gokuaku Dome, Gokuaku Dome, I'll do it. I can shoot it twice. Look here, I'll train again until that day comes. So I guess Dump and her team are coming for Club Venus is the way I'm taking this.
Now, I'm guessing they've already started limping their way there.
Yeah, I'm as much as I love Mina and Waka, I'm not looking forward to her doing it up with Dump Matsumoto because the last time we saw her, I fucking hated that match.
It
So
was awful. As soon as I saw, like, I got excited because with the video, it was like Mina, she's talking to the camera, clearly doing an interview or something like that. And there's like this creepy, like, doll mask thing kind of
mhm.
peeking around the corner, all sus like and whatever. I was excited. I was like, ooh, this is like, crazy no shoes people from the last show getting involved in shit. Is this people? Are they not this people? What's going on? And then I saw Dump and I was like, are you kidding me?
Now what I'm hoping
Why?
is it's not actually Dump in the match. I hope it's Dump maybe becoming a manager in this promotion and like leading some younger people. I don't know who. It could be debuts. I'm hoping of all hope that it's Dump lead like whoever her team is. I hope among hopefuls that like whoever's representing Goku Ku Dome. I hope it's another couple people representing Dump. Well, Dump can be there. She can be leading the leader of the faction, but have other people be doing the fighting. Please God, let that be.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't need that. We
Not at
don't
all.
need that. I'm not like as soon as I saw Dump's face in there, I was like, please no. It just it wasn't enjoyable the last time.
So after
I
seeing Dump, I didn't think I could be any more disappointed on this show, but I was
hold your beer.
with this match. The fact that these 6 women created my lowest point on this show
I don't think the match
with,
was that bad.
with a Dump match. It wasn't bad, but it was just a giant clusterfuck.
It was a little confusing, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna preface this by saying this match was 5 minutes and 27 seconds.
That's part of the problem.
That's a big part of my problem. It's Donna Del
Yeah.
Mondo's Giulia, Mai Sakurai, and Thecla defending their Artist of Stardom titles against Maika, their teammate, Megan Bayne, and 5-star winner, Suzuki.
Yeah.
So I'll go through it. So DDM attacks as the bell goes, but Bayne and Maika fight them off. Maika slamming the heck out of Mai. Bayne in, she's hitting short arm lariats, hits a big stalling slam. Suzu gets tagged in, hits a drive-by kick from the floor to Mai. Mai fights back, gets a kick to Suzu, tags in Giulia. Thecla and Giulia are double teaming Suzu. Thecla tries to DDT Bayne, and she comes in, but she's caught, but gets a hot shot on the ropes. Suzu gets Giulia up and hits the Rana off the top, and the running knee, but Suzu comes back, but then Giulia hits his running knee, but Suzu comes back with a spear. Um, Maika gets again. This is like I think I wrote some stuff wrong because there was so much going on all at once. I might be
Yeah.
a little bit of this wrong. I apologize if I am, but it was such a cluster, man, in this match.
Mhm.
Maika gets that
Was
standing
always
fall
the
away.
last.
Maika gets a standing fall away slam to Giulia. Maika goes for the suplex. Giulia reverses it, and then Souza ends up kicking Maika in the face, and Giulia gets a roll up for 2. Okay, shit happens. Partners kick each other. It happens every time, and again.
I mean, the amount of times that Micah has accidentally lariated Himika in their careers.
Yeah. So Thecla and Mai send Bayne and Suzu to the floor. Then they hit, and Thecla hits a high cross off the top to the floor. Maika hits the off the shoulder sidewalk slam to Giulia for 2. Giulia reverses the slam, gets a 2 count, but then Suzu ends up kicking Giulia in the face, and Maika gets a 2 count. Suzu and Maika go for the kick and lariat sandwich thing. Like, but Giulia ducks. Suzu kicks Maika in the head. And so Giulia rolls up Maika while Thecla grabs Suzu, pulling her into the corner. And Giulia ends up rolling up Maika and retaining the title in 5 minutes. Like I said, 5 minutes and 27 seconds.
A disappointing end.
I was so confused. I'm sitting here, and there's still like an hour, like 2 hours or so left on this card.
Yeah.
And like I was watching the pay-per-view copy, and I'm like, what? What? I was expecting this match to go like 15 minutes. Like I was expecting to get a good battle from these teams. Like Bayne was barely a part of this.
Yeah, she was more on the outside than anything.
I was really disappointed. Like I was looking forward to Bayne like tossing Mai Sakurai around the ring for a couple minutes here.
Yeah, I mean, she did a bit at the beginning, but not much after.
Yeah, so after the match, Maika's pissed because Suzu kicked her for the second time in the match, and she attacks Suzu, beating the shit out of her. And then they end up standing up, and she like slaps the shit out of her, like hits her with like a straight right, and and heads for the back. And so Giulia gets the mic and is like, Maika, what the hell? And she's like, come back here, but Maika's fuck it and just leaves. And this is where Giulia is just like, fuck it, drops the mic, and she follows Maika to the back. Like, you gotta figure out, she's her girl, so you gotta figure out what's going on with her friend, right? But it was just really stupid.
Yeah, I mean the match itself. I mean, it wasn't. It was a little clustery. There was a lot of points where people were in the ring that weren't supposed to legally be in the ring, and there was just a lot of chaos happening. I didn't feel like it could have been as clusterfucky as we've seen other things get, but it was pretty clustery.
I think the reason I dislike this so much because of the clustery nature of it, the shortness of it, what we didn't get from this match, and the after result makes it all just one big pile of I don't like this, and I'm very disappointed.
Yes, and then I mentioned to you afterwards the backstage comments. Maika and Giulia still arguing. Couldn't understand what they were saying, but Giulia posting on the X thing that whatever choices you make, I will always support you. These are ominous words, but then again, we have been saying over the last little while since Himika's retirement, it has felt like Maika has kind of been that awkward fourth wheel in Donna Del Mondo, where Mai Sakurai, Thekla, and Giulia have been proudly, carrying the Artists of Stardom titles, and Maika's just kind of been there. Maybe she's feeling a little underutilized or underappreciated, much how Poi was. And we had been saying that maybe it's time for Maika to branch off and, kind of tread her own path. Don't think it probably should have started like this. But I'm interested to see what it is that they do with her, considering the things that we have seen pop up on social media since. Yeah. Which I sent to you before coming on to this thing.
Yeah, and again, she's celebrating working with Bayne now. But again, there was a show just from a couple days ago, as we in real time, that she teamed up with the rest of DDM and they had a match. So again, it's not like she has any issues with DDM itself. It's just, yeah, I don't know.
She's going through an awkward growing phase.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm curious to see where she ends up, but it's probable at this point that maybe DDM is going to be in her rear view in the coming months. Could you potentially see Maika challenging Giulia for that NJPW Strong Women's Championship? I wouldn't be mad about having Maika traveling over to North America, defending that title a little bit. Ooh, her versus Willow would be a good match. And Chris Statlander.
I think she'd be great, but I think as much as I would love to see certain other people win the title, I bet I love Giulia having the title. I think Giulia is almost the perfect person to have that title on. Being that, again, fluent in Japanese, but she also knows English. She's also fluent in English because her mom, she was born in England. She had, I can't remember if it's her mom or her dad is English. And she knows the language real well. So coming over here, when she does come over here, she can cut promos in English. She can have that communication factor that some of the Japanese women might not be able to have.
I don't know. I
So,
mean, her partnership with Bayne could be lucrative in that respect, because maybe she can teach Bayne Japanese. Maybe Bayne can teach her English.
very possible too.
Yeah,
So
I see a win-win situation there.
Yeah, so we did get a little bit more from My Sakurai. Hello to all you super commoners here at the Dolphins Arena. She's got the super commoners now. So the artist belts are symbolic of the unit. And she goes, it's getting noisy back there because somebody yelling in the back, I guess. I guess it's Giulia and Maika yelling at each other.
Probably.
We await the next worthy challengers. Now then, please excuse me. Again, abrupt little finish, but it's My Sakurai.
Her ladyship.
So we are going to move on. We go to the Wonder of Stardom title match. It's Mirai. God's Eyes Mirai. Taking on, from Oedo Miss Momo Watanabe. They start out basic wrestling. Each try to gain the upper hand. Momo slides out and then traps Mirai. She slides to the outside. Mirai comes sliding up, but she gets trapped in the apron. Momo hits her with the bat. Momo runs Mirai into the post. Mirai puts Momo on a chair, but she ends up getting dropped toe holded into the chair. Momo pulls the arm through the chair, pulling and then twisting and pulling on it. Then places the chair on Mirai's arm and sits on the chair, just kind of a dick move. So Momo back in the ring, kicking, working over the arm. She wrenches both arms on the ropes. Mirai catches a kick, snaps it, hits a sliding flatliner. They fight to the floor. Mirai reverses the whip and sends Momo into the chairs. Back in the ring, Mirai gets to roll through the rope, come like a somersault through the ropes into a flatliner. I love that move. I really did. And then she gets the top rope drop kick for 2, and then gets a butterfly lock, then into a modified Rings of Saturn. But Momo gets the ropes. Momo gets a suplex into the corner, then hits a second rope Meteora, then the top rope Meteora for 2, then gets a chicken wing, then hits a head kick, short arm, holding on to the wrist clutch and kick, and just kicking the chest kicks to Mirai from Momo. Mirai gets the modified angle slam, then goes for the SS, but Momo gets the chicken wing, but Mirai reverses into a head scissors, then hits the SS Columbia with Michelle for 2. Momo turns a Miramari shock into a Meteora. It was really impressive how she got her up, and as she's getting up, she just twists on her shoulders and just drops her with that Meteora. I absolutely love that. Again, great transition there. Momo kicks the arm of Mirai. Mirai strikes back. They're trading kicks and strikes. Then Momo unloads kicks to Mirai, dropping her. Mirai comes back unloading forearms and headbutts Momo, probably more into the chest, I'd say, than anything. She didn't hit her for the head. She went for the chest. And then Momo comes back hit with a head kick, but Mirai then hits the Death Valley driver. Momo stops the Miramari shock, gets her down into a hammerlock armbar combo from behind, but Mirai gets to the ropes. Mirai gets a lariat, then the running lariat. She gets the lariat to the back in the corner, then goes up and hits the Tanahashi special, Aces High, ladies and gentlemen. The standing frog splash. The frog splash to a standing opponent. Momo turns the lariat into the half and half suplex, then hits her pump handle suplex into the bridge for 2. She hits a buzzsaw kick, pulls up Mirai, goes for the dark peach or whatever it's called. I remember her driver. It almost looks like a JML driver.
Black peach driver.
Black peach driver, that's it. But Mirai reverses the move into a pin for 2, hits the running lariat, and pins Momo in 15 minutes, 32 seconds to retain the Wonder of Stardom Championship.
Yeah. this was a very fun match. Mirai turned it up on Momo at one point. Momo was really taking it to Mirai for the first part of this match. She was really wrecking her day. But Mirai, she got so angry that when she tossed Momo into the chairs, did you notice that she pretty much burritoed? She rolled up in the chair. She had to actually unbury her and like unroll her a little bit from the chairs to pull her out of there. She became Buttercup, wearing the wrong color, but Buttercup, she got very angry. She snapped in this one. And I liked it. Yeah, as you mentioned, that somersault flatliner just so good. She's so quick. But Momo, man, those strikes.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get water.
Okay, should I keep going?
Keep talking. I'm just gonna leave.
Okay. Okay. This isn't my favorite gear of Momo. She was wearing the gear in the picture with the yellow accent. It's not my favorite, but she looked really, really good in this. And her entrance jacket was reminiscent of the Bari Bari Bombers, half furry, half like Hiromu Takahashi leather jacket with dingly dangly stuff on it. Looked really, really cool. I wasn't sure if I was pleasantly surprised or disappointed after the match when the shoeless weirdos didn't show up to mess around with Mirai again. Why show up to one show and not show up to another show? Make it make sense.
Yeah, I was super bummed that we didn't get a follow-up to that, her being kidnapped.
Yeah, I mean, Mayu and Azumi clearly, made it home. Yeah, it would have been nice to have some follow-up. I don't know, though, because that was a New Blood show, wasn't it? Or was that a...
No, it was the last show we covered. New Blood was a couple shows ago.
Well, then I don't know, because I was going to say maybe if it's a New Blood show, it's New Blood people, but if it's not, I don't know. Make it make sense.
No, it was the Stardom and Korakuen show.
Oh, yeah, so Shoeless Wonders, what you doing? Yeah. I had a thought on who one of them could be. A former wrestler who I've personally been missing. I've been following her quite a bit. She has been making the rounds. I think she is back in Japan right now, but I'm not sure. Unagi Sayaka.
Didn't she just do the Spark Joshi show?
I don't know.
She worked the Spark
Joshi is there, but I don't know if Unagi Sayaka.
No, Unagi Sayaka was part of that under a different name though. And she was on those shows. She was on the one on the Wednesday in the West Coast.
I don't know.
And then she was at the one I'm pretty sure our friend went to. I don't know if she did or not.
Astrid was not feeling well. She is also feeling under the weather, so unfortunately she did not attend.
I did buy those shows on Fight. I got to get around to watching them. I might have to send you the link. Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on.
Let's move on. Again, very great match. This more than made up for that debacle of the Artist Stardom title match for me, personally.
It did, yeah.
Yeah. We move on. Semi-main event of the evening. It is a 6-woman tag. It's Kairi, Mayu Iwatani, and Nane Takahashi taking on classmates Hazuki, Koguma, and Saida. Really nice video plays early, showing the highlights of Kairi's return to Stardom, showing her, and then shows her announcing about her leaving to go back to WWE, as it's been said. Then it shows a press conference, more highlights of Kairi. So out comes everybody. Everybody gets a nice, classmates come out, nice trios entrance. And then you have all the vets coming out on their own. Kairi kind of getting the spotlight here. The vets ask for the handshake, and they all shake hands. Very respectful start. So Kairi and Ida start. Kairi getting the advantage early, but Ida fights back. But she ends up getting, Mayu kind of pulls a dirty move on Ida. Kicking her friend in the back when she's running the ropes. And then the vets end up coming into triple team Ida.
I mean, all is fair in love and war, right? I mean, it's wrestling. You got to win the match for your team. And if that means you got to beat up your friend, Shawn Michaels, that's what you're going to do.
Yeah, Kairi goes to the apron, trades shots with Ida, gets the arm breaker over the ropes, pulls Ida through, but Ida gets a lariat to Kairi on the apron. Like she's getting pulled through, and as Kairi's going for a jog, she just stands up and just lariats the shit out of Kairi. It was really good. Um, uh, she gets the speed chops on the floor against the ring apron. In the ring, she gets a 2 count. Then hits an arm bar, but gets rolled up by Kairi for 2. Hazuki really working over the arm of Kairi. Um, yeah, she gets a crossface on. Nane breaks that up though. They end up piling up the vets, and they classmates hip tosses Ida onto the pile. I really like that. Um, Hazuki gets the face wash, running boot to Kairi. Then Kakuma gets tagged in and does the little stomps to the back and the hopping stomp. I like that. She gets a 2 count of that. Kairi misses the spear. Kakuma stomps her. But as Koguma goes to run the ropes, Kairi does get the spear and tags out. Classmates all like beating their chest at Nane. It was great. And then they're all beating up on Nane, but Nane fights back. Koguma missing the cutter. Nane gets a PK. Again, really good stuff. But Koguma does come back and gets the cutter. Ida gets the speed chops in the corner, but Nane reverses, gets her own chops. Again, really good back and forth here. Nane gets a crossface, and then on Ida, and then Mayu and Kairi each get their own submissions on the other 2 members of classmates. Yeah, really. Again, there's a lot to this match. This match was like 20.
That spot was done properly too, by the way.
Oh yeah,
because you also complain about this a lot. You always say when the ref is counting to 5 there, why does the legal person break the pin? They always do. In this one, the legal people did not. Nane held in that submission. She was a smart wrestler. So, kudos Nane.
I like
That
that.
right there is a veteran wrestler.
Has catches Kairi's kick, smacks the crap out of her. Kairi goes for a head scissors off, like she on the ropes, and goes for the head scissors. But Has just kind of tosses her up and then gives her an up kick to the midsection, dropping Kairi. It was great. She's unloading for the forearms to the head. They're trading forearms. Kairi turns a suplex into a DDT, then hits her spear at Hazuki. She hits the sliding D in the corner, gets a 2 count. She applies the anchor, bridges way back, but Hazuki does fight out of it. Hazuki gets roll up and through into an MX and a head kick. Koguma tags in, hits the high cross. Koguma gets a splash in the corner, hits the cutter for 2. Kairi hitting 2 spinning back fists and sits on Koguma for the pin. Gets a 2 count, and she just starts chopping her, just like downward chops, and it's just looking brutal. Kairi gets another really loud chop when they're standing, hits a slam, and the vets hit, like triple team Koguma, and Kairi gets 2. Kairi hits the Alabama slam, goes up, but Koguma comes up, strikes, hits the cutter off the top. Ida gets a sliding shoulder block, and has Hazuki and Koguma hit the off the shoulder cutter slam combo. Koguma goes up, hits the splash for 2. Mayu comes in, hits her with a German. Nana gets Blue Thunder bomb. Then she's going to assist Mayu. Nana's going to assist Mayu with that, like hop up the ropes into like a dive. And she just stops as Mayu's about to climb, just lets go and just walks over and starts stomping on Koguma again. It was so, and you see Mayu in the corner like just upset. It was so funny. And then she comes back and helps her, like does a rope assist it into like a swanton. It was just, and then Nani ends up popping Kairi up into the air, comes down with an elbow drop on Koguma, but only gets a 2 count. But again, it was just a great sequence there, especially of her denying Mayu the hop up. It was so good. Kairi goes to the top rope for the insane elbow. It's just coming down. Koguma puts the feet up, and she like elbows into it. I'm like, I hope her shoulder's still in place after that. Like it looked rough. And then Koguma gets the sliding D and the Northern Lights, but Kairi kicks it like 2.9. Koguma tries the German, but Kairi reverses, and Koguma does. But Koguma Koguma dodges a super kick by Mayu, and she hits Kairi. And then Koguma gets a roll up on Kairi, but Mayu and Nane break it up. Koguma and Hazuki end up DDTing Mayu and Nane. Ida and Hazuki suicide dive Nane and Mayu on opposite sides of the floor, or opposite sides of the ring. Class H hits this like elevated splash off the top to Kairi, like where they lift Kairi up, and then Koguma comes off with the splash off the top, and she gets a 2 count. Ida gets the back lariat into the corner. They set up for like Ida gets Kairi for a power bomb, and then Hazuki and Koguma are up top, go up to the top, but it all gets broken up. Kairi slips out, and then Nane ends up double superplexing Koguma and Hazuki into the ring. Looks so good. The vets end up launching Mayu into Koguma in the corner. Kairi gets a 2 count. She then goes up, insane elbow off the top, and Kairi gets the win in her final Stardom match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, didn't expect that not to happen. It was nice to see them working with classmates, though. Koguma put in the work in this match. Holy shit. She was the star of this show besides Kairi. She did so much. I feel like she was in the ring the most of the other teammates, and that she took the most. Specifically at the end there. Ida, though, she handled herself very, very well with Nane when she was in there with her. I personally would love to see Nane and Ida do another one-on-one match. I feel like we've seen them recently, but I would like to see that again. Just because I feel like there's still more to that story that could be told between the two of them. Hazuki, always a privilege to watch. She is just so good. Mayu is always that nice comedic addition to the match. I felt that she was kind of like I want to say the odd man out on her team because she worked into there pretty well when they let her. But she definitely, despite her very obvious loyalty to her team and not her faction, throughout the match, they still just weren't giving her that much, and it was kind of adorable.
Yeah, she seemed like the odd man out in this match.
Yeah, 100%. This was a really great trios match. I enjoyed this.
Yeah, so we get the speeches after. Kairi goes, Koguma, look up. Look in front of you. In a weekly pro wrestling interview, you said you don't have any desires. And Kairi goes, that is a lie. Those tears are Koguma's true feelings, right? You're super strong, aren't you? Both Hazuki and Ida are strong. You guys have so much heart. Don't let your past hold you down. Read the atmosphere. Let's go. You can do it. I'll never give up on you. I'll be watching. And she goes, Mayu-san, Nane-san. She is so strong, so and cute, so strong, so cute, and sometimes she makes cute mistakes. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I'm really happy to be able to team up with these two cool people today who do what they do when they do it. Again, the wording is so weird here in the translation. It was only a period of 1.5 years, but I honestly don't know if I was able to contribute to the development of Stardom. But for me, I've gained so much from so many players, and I've learned so much from these three that I've been truly reborn. The rings are always connected, so let's all become stronger and meet again. That's the line where I'm thinking maybe there might end up being a WWE connection, because again, she has the connections to this company that if they want to do something, they can. So, like, again, the rings are connected. Again, I feel like that's might be a certain line in there. I don't know. She says, today I'm really happy to be able to have my last match in Nagoya, which I missed last year. All of you will always be a family. Please continue to get along as family, friends, and fellow professional wrestling fans. Thank you. And bows to the crowd. And then they do the entire group like bow to like all six of
Yay,
them.
we are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have too much to add to that. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I don't watch the North American products, so I don't know the state of them or who's in charge of what and how and why. And I just know that certain ones I like what I see, and certain ones I don't like what I see on both and all companies. So we'll see what happens and how they honor everything. The most important thing is that everybody gets the frick along. No arguing
Yeah.
on this train.
I agree. And again, like I know I might be reading into that line, but there's so many great women in WWE that I would love to see a partnership. And like it seems like Triple H would probably be far more open to doing something like a trading thing because like there's so many good people in the company.
I mean, there is. My problem is I'm not willing to believe that Vince is 100% out the door until he's in the ground.
Oh well, again, he doesn't even because remember he's like one of the head guys of the newly created TKO. But again, I'm hoping I'm a hopeful. I can't help but be hopeful because there'd be some great like I would love to see Dakota Kai get in with some Stardom people. That would be absolutely tremendous. Isla Dawn, like dude, Bianca Belair. Imagine Bianca Belair and Giulia tangling her up.
Who Isla Dawn is?
Oh, she's NXT just came up to the main roster, but again, English wrestler. But like Bianca Belair, you've seen her. You know how good she is. Imagine her and like Giulia or any of these Stardom women. I would love to see that if it could happen. But you never know, right? You never know.
We shall see.
I hope. We move on to the main event. World of Stardom Championship match. It is Tam Nakano defending her title against Natsuko Tora, and both women come out with no seconds. They both respected, like Tora respected her enough not to bring anybody else with her. They show a pre-match video, shows a bit of the history of these two from when they're obviously a good bit younger for both of them. They both
I think the thing said 2017.
Yeah, so again, that's 6 years ago. That's you don't think 2015 that's so long ago. It's actually 6 years ago. That's a good bit, and they both look a good bit younger in those pictures. I love Tam on her entrance. I love that big fairy staff that she has, whatever the heck it is. I love it.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's very much a staff. It reminds me of like Sailor Moon.
So they brawl right off the hop, striking each other. Tora gets control on the ground, pulls an armbar, but Tam reverses into a rear naked choke. But it gets broken up, but Tam gets it back. But then Tora moving around, gets a headlock, and Tam gets the headlock. Just great ground transition wrestling to start this match. And then Tora snap mirrors Tam over, but Tam hops up and just immediately snap mirrors Tora over. I love the little move. It was so inventive. I just love the snap mirror into a snap mirror. I love that. Tam slips through the ropes to avoid Tora and gets a stunner on the ropes. Then back in to hit running knee in the ropes, sending Tora to the floor. Tam goes to the top. This is where Tora comes up, blatantly in front of the referee, hits her in the face with the case. She brought Ruaka's case to ringside with her, obviously, or Ruaka left it out there strategically, something like that. Yeah, and Tam goes tumbling to the floor. Tora runs Tam into the chairs and takes her to the other side. It does again. This is where Tam's like under one chair with her legs up on, like her legs are on top of one chair, but her body's under another chair. And Tora just, I don't know what she had, but she took her and just smacked it across Tam. Sounded like it hurt like a Dickens.
I don't remember what she had. I thought it was another chair.
No, it was like it looked like cylindrical, but she got it from the floor around where the chairs were. So I don't know if it was a fan thing. I don't know, but it looked brutal.
Maybe Doki was in the audience.
Could be.
Maybe Momo left her pipe down there for her.
Could be. Well, no, it was like a big, long, white thing. So I thought
I don't recall that part.
Oh, I do. I watched. I rewound it. I rewound it like 3 times trying to figure out what the hell she hit her with. but I was just like, I have no idea what this thing is. Yeah. Tora rolls Tam in, but Tam rolls to the other side. So Tora comes running around the ring. She literally runs around the ring. And then it runs, like, just tosses Tam headfirst into a barricade and collapses. Like, looked rough as fuck. Tam ends up, like, Tora gets a chair, but Tam super kicks it into Tora. She goes up the ramp, starts running down for the running knee. Tora just takes the chair and just throws it into Tam's face. Looked brutal as fuck. Tora slams Tam on the floor, goes to use the chair, but the ref like takes it. So she like just shoves the ref over, puts the chair on Tam, goes to the apron, and like sentons off the apron onto the chair onto Tam. I'm just like, these refs don't call anything. Like, what the shit, man?
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. The problem, I was very impressed also that they didn't bring their seconds, but the problem with not having the seconds is that poor ref had to work twice as hard that match because now he was the one running to the fans and being like, move, even though I'm supposed to be telling you or them not to be doing this. Y'all gotta move. It was hilarious.
Yeah, again, it was just it's an odd situation. Tora tossing Tam by her hair in the ring, hits a suplex for 2. She's booting Tam in the head, then like repeatedly, like just smacking boots in her face. And gets her up on top, but Tam stops a headlock takeover, but Tam hits a kick and a drop kick and then a cartwheel double knee drop. Tam tries the German. Tora fights it off. They trade strikes to center. Then they trade shot each other, running into it, hitting a shot into each other on the ropes. Then Tam up kicks a spear attempt and hits a bridging German for 2. Tora stops the running knee, but Tam gets a roll up gets off the shoulders into a roll up for 2. Then applies an inverted triangle, but Tora eventually does get to the ropes. Tam stomps Tora, then goes to the top, but Tora right up after, slaps the shit out of her, gets her on her shoulder, hits an avalanche Death Valley driver, then follows it up with 2 more Death Valley drivers, but can only get 2. Tora again gets the cannonball against the bottom rope, hits the Death Valley driver again, but again, only 2. Again, this match it's spectacular, ladies and gentlemen. It's so good. Just the back and forth, these two beating the shit out of each other was so good. Release German by Tam when she makes her comeback, then goes up, but Tora attacks her up top. But Tam sunset flips over. While Tora is on the second rope and just grabs her turns around, grabs her by the, and Germans are off the second. Look great. And then wait, I'm in the wrong spot. I lost my spot. What the hell? Oh, there it is. Germans are off the second. And then both are down. They're both like laid out, like just beat the hell. They're striking each other in the center again. Tam gets 2 head kicks. Tora hits a lariat and another like running lariat, but only gets 2. Tora gets her up on the shoulders, but Tam slips off the shoulders, gets the bridging tiger suplex, but only gets 1. Unloads with multiple running knees to the head, but can only get a 2 count. So this is where Tam is lifting up Tora, so she grabs the ref and like pulls him down, mists Tam, picks her up, slams her, hits a swanton off the top, hits the Death Valley driver, but Tam kicks out at that like 2.9 point. Like, just you're like, what? I'm like, what? I was biting on Tora winning the title here. Tam reverses the lariat, hits a falcon arrow. Both are down the mat. Tam hits a buzzsaw kick, then gets his spinning heel kick. Can only get 2. Tam lifts her up for Vile Screwdriver, but Tora comes crashing down on top of her. And they're both like laid out of the mat. Tam's just like getting frustrated. She hits another buzzsaw kick, picks her up, Violet Screwdriver, and Tam Nakano retains her championship.
I was surprised because it was just barely.
Yeah.
It was really just barely. Tora put up a tremendous fight in this, which is probably why we knew she wasn't going to win. But yeah, this was a battle, and this was nothing that I did not expect out of Tora. I mean, Tam has been shown to put it up when she needs to. I mean, we've seen her go with Poi in their crazy match thing that they did this time last year, which is crazy to think, isn't it? This time last year, Tam Nakano was feuding with Natsuko, her now partner.
That was 2 years ago. It was
Was it 2
before
years ago?
Yeah, that was before we started doing the show. Because they were male tiered by that point.
Last year?
Last
Oh
year they
yeah,
were
I
male
guess
tier.
they
Yeah.
were. Yeah. Wow, it's been 2 years already. Oh, COVID time. I blame COVID. Anyway, yeah. Again, very pleasantly surprised that both these ladies didn't have seconds. Again, it did create a lot of work for the ref in this one, so I think we can forgive him his calls because he was doing like 5 people's jobs right there.
I'll give him everything except for the case shot straight to Tam's head on the top rope. That's the
It's
one
a
I
title
won't give him.
match.
That's
It's a
the one I
title match.
won't
We
give him.
expect
But yeah,
this shit.
the rest of it I'll give him. But that was the one I won't.
But yeah, very very solid main event. I feel it was a different kind of magic than they had in the Grand Prix. The Grand Prix was a different kind of savagery. This was a different kind of wrestling. But it was just as good and just as entertaining. So if you enjoyed their match in the Grand Prix, you'll really enjoy this one. This was great.
100%. So after the match, Tam gets the mic. Natsuko, thank you for coming alone. You are my rival for life, right? And Tam's just and like Tora's just like walking away. Will not acknowledge her, just walking to the back. She goes, "Hear what I said, dummy?" And it's just like but Tora will not acknowledge her. Now, World of Stardom, the next challenger, come out. So Suzuki makes her way out. She says, "Sorry to have kept you waiting." This is Suzuki. Here is a 5-star Grand Prix winner. Tam Nakano, you're looking so good. Hey, I hope you haven't forgotten about me. I want a singles match against you. How could Tam forget? And Tam says, "How could Tam forget? She's a woman who holds on to her memories." And Suzu says, "Scary, scary, scary, scary. I will take your red belt and become the face of the wrestling world as fast as I can, and you will be my stepping stone." The era of Tam Nakano is over, and she slams the mic down. And Tam just gets into this really weird part of her speech. She goes, "You still talk like a barbarian. You sound like you sound just like that person I hate the most. Suzu-chan, you know. If you want to be the face of the wrestling world, maybe you should learn to be a little more charming, like Tam." Yeah, right? And I think somebody yelled something. And then I didn't like that part. Like, I didn't agree with any of it because I think Suzu's great. I love her promo style.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and Suzu was done up tonight. Like you could really see it, especially in this one. She had all of her makeup done. She had falsies on. Her hair was really nice. She dressed up really nice. I mean, all this coming from a girl who is still dripping blue nastiness out of her nose. You know, her jewels were intact though. I
Yeah,
mean, but you
yeah.
know, don't sit there and be like, "Oh, I'm cute," when you got like some nasty kind of blue booger hanging out your face.
You get what looks like almost like Smurf jizz all over you.
I mean, I did not want to go there.
I did.
Papers.
I
But
went there.
but yeah, very odd. But I feel like that's kind of was Tam's kind of way back in the day a little bit. Like when she was still Cosmic Angels and it was like Mina and Unagi. They were kind of like the, we're cute. You're not cute. You're not like, I feel like they kind of had a little bit of a mean girl thing for a little bit. So maybe we're seeing the Cosmic Angels also starting to lean towards being a bit of a heel group anyway, too, because we have been saying for months now that Poi, bit of a B. So maybe, I mean, we've seen Kashimasaki having that interesting effect on God's Eye, turning them into a bit of savages and, starting to use some underhanded tactics in the same way Saki does. Maybe we're going to see the poi effect having, some kind of, situation on Tam and Saori Anou. I mean, Saori Anou, obviously, I would say, was probably going to get there a lot quicker than Tam.
Mm.
But Tam, I mean, she's going to be Regina soon. That's a little scurry.
Yeah, so she makes another couple comments to the crowd, talking to them as she usually does. She goes, "There was a time when Tam thought that the words, if you don't give up on your dreams, they will come true. And hard work will definitely pay off, or words only spoken by a select few successful people. But I want to show that this is not a world where those who work hard will lose out, but a world where hard work pays off. Tam will continue to prove this to everyone with this red belt. So please continue to make your dreams come true with me. Thank you for believing in me today." And then she does her weird, delicious sign off.
Yes, her little delicious sign off.
Weird, delicious.
I missed that weird delicious sign off. It was something that was really cute.
Her star thing that she does, or
her little believe in Tam, follow Tam road.
That thing, yeah.
She does a star, my guy, the 5-point star.
Yeah, doing a star right now.
Your star is on drugs.
You know it. it's a spinning star. The star is spinning. Come on.
You got a Luma there. That's not a star. Oh dear.
Well, we have come to the end of another episode. So thank you all so very much for joining us. But before we go, I'm going to let you know where you can find us. You can find me on the X Mastodon, Blue Sky, and Hive at That Canada Guy, the TikTok, the Instagram, and the Threads at That Canada. You can find me on Facebook at Andre and Melba Wrestling Talk. You can also find me once a week right now over, where the heck is that button? Over at our local establishment, twitch.tv/our local establishment, where I've done a couple live shows talking some Loki over there with Marvel Talk with my boy, my other tag team partner, the one I tag up with when Mel's not available, talking some Loki over there on Marvel Talk. You checked it out. We should be back this coming Saturday, and we're doing another 9 a.m. live stream, Mountain, 11 a.m. Eastern, just because I'm working a lot of closings on the weekends right now. So, and my boy Ed, he can make it work. So we'll be back with more episodes, with episodes 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll be talking all the Loki episodes from this season over on OLE. You can find also the replays over at youtube.com/@our-local-establishment. Also, check out our boy Mike the Ref over here at Backbreaker Video. All the great content he puts out over there, all the great wrestling content, and the replays of his AEW watch-alongs, which you can find him doing live at twitch.tv/Mike the Ref, where you can see how his Twitch every Wednesday Dynamite watch-along, and then all his great gaming content live over there. You can see all the replays of his gaming content over at youtube.com/@backbreaker_gaming. You can find stuff from him, Mr. PJC, Mr. Rick Jules, and their freaking guest, Miss Kayla J.
Kayla J. Love Kayla J.
Melball, where can they find you?
If you're wanting to follow a Melball, you can find her on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can find her on everything else, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. You can also find her on our local establishment's programming, Para Mindful with Alex the Werewolf, every other Monday. We're going to be releasing, this is coming out on Monday, so we're going to be releasing an episode today, 5 p.m. Mountain Time, about the Bermuda Triangle, what's all happening down there, what we think is going on, and some of the things that have been happening, proven, disproven, and all the weird theories coming out of there. Yeah. No, we don't want to go to those triangles. You can also find me on Astro Pizarro's YouTube channel with our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase, where we talk about all things women's professional wrestling. You can also catch Stardom Wrestling at stardom-world.com. is approximately 999 yen, or approximately 10 Canadian. Actually, it's more like 715 right now, whatever your dollar bill is at. But it is still a great price to watch some amazing women's wrestling. You can watch some of the stuff that we talked about today, or dive back into the vaults where you can see some of the women from the WWE, like Kairi Sane, Piper Niven, Shayna Baszler, Blair Davenport. You can see people from AEW like Tony Storm.
Jamie
And
Hayter.
Jamie Hayter. Yes, I was going to say, and the big booty one too. Yes,
Well, Tony
Jamie
Storm.
Hayter.
Well, Tony Storm too.
I did not hear that, but I'm going to assume yes. That being said, Andre, my trusted friend and colleague, do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
I just want to say I love all of you people out there and all the great support you've given us. We love you. Thank you all so much for joining us here on Andre and Melbo Wrestling Talks on our channel, our shows, and everything else. Oh, don't forget to hit the notification bell.
Ding dong.
Hello.
And that being said, I am your Maple. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time. Mwah!